Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to the predictions and breakdowns. Today we're taking a look at UFC Fight Night Edwards versus Sean Brady, which is taking place on March 22nd, 2025, starting at 1 p.m. EST, an early card for us Eastern Time zoners. And we're going to be taking a look at the entire card, starting with the prelims, ending with the main event. It's a really, really good card. Let's just get right into it right away, starting with the prelim opener of Guram Kutateladze versus Kaui Fernandez. Now, I'm picking Guram Kutateladze. Fernandez is not bad. He has very, very good power. His head kicks are unbelievable. He did knock out Muhammad Yahya last time round in the first round, right before the bell. He does have 5 TKOs inside of the first round, which worries me a little bit because Guram Kutateladze does get clipped sometimes inside the first round, did get clipped by Els Brenner, did get hurt by Jordan Vucenic inside that first round. Demir Ismagulov also was able to clip him a couple times, but I just believe he's the more well-rounded fighter. I think when it comes down to it, to be honest, I think he's going to take down Fernandez. I think he's going to try and use the grappling approach to try and nullify all of the massive striking opportunities from Fernandez, and I think he's just going to try and keep him at range, try and keep him away from his power side, and Guram's just going to end up winning a long decision. I don't mind Guram here by submission. I think he might be able to, because we saw very clearly Guram can grapple very well. He grappled against Jordan Vucenic. Vucenic is literally the guy that is the big grappler from Cage Warriors. He's coming over to the UFC, trying to make a statement, trying to prove that Cage Warriors isn't some just, organization where there's a lot of talk. It's an organization of a lot of power. And right now, he's kind of looking a little bit trash. He might lose to Chris Duncan this weekend. I guess we'll see. But I just think Guram Kutateladze here is just better than Fernandez. Fernandez might be able to clip him, though. Honestly, if there's a bet that you can find that's Fernandez by KO or Guram by decision, it's probably your best one. Fernandez is just, he had a tough fight against Mark DeCasey, but Mark DeCasey's a really, really good kickboxer, really good point fighter, and was able to just kind of keep him at range. So we're going to see if Guram's able to do the same thing, but with takedowns, and see if he can nullify that power side of Fernandez. We're going to move on next in the prelims. What is it? Kalen Loughran. Kalen Loughran versus Nathan Fletcher. We're going with Nathan Fletcher. Loughran just looks ass. His fight against Jake Hadley, he was fighting an undersized Jake Hadley at 135, and just looked like shit. Didn't really look good. Looked kind of terrible. Like he freezes up too much, man. Loughran just freezes up. He's a Cage Warriors champion. This dude's in the middle of a UFC fight, and he freezes. Like, he doesn't know what to do. And he's going to be fighting Nathan Fletcher in England. Good luck. Like, Nathan Fletcher, nasty with the grappling. He'll force a takedown. Loughran doesn't have the type of power that's going to nullify Fletcher. He doesn't have that one-punch knockout power that's going to make Nathan worried. Nathan's just going to force a takedown early. Going to make sure that Loughran doesn't really have anywhere to move. And Nathan Fletcher moving back down to 135 after taking a I'm pretty sure it was a short notice fight against Zygamentis Ramashka, where he was able to submit him inside that second round via arm triangle. I think he grabbed Mount around a minute into round 2 and was just able to grab it from Mount and forced Zygamentis to tap at 145. Fighting a guy who's 10 pounds heavier than him naturally, and now he's fighting Kalen Loughran, who just looks like shit on the feet, kind of looks a little bit hesitant always, kind of looks like the type of guy that's just wide open for a takedown. I'm taking Nathan Fletcher all day by submission. I love that side, and I think Nathan Fletcher is going to improve to 10-1, especially with London on his side. If we go to the decision, they're not giving it to the Irish, they're giving it to the Englishman. Next on the prelims, we have Showana Banen versus Puja Tomar. I will never pick Puja Tomar. I would never pick that fucking... Who's that guy that just got absolutely binned by Quillian Salkeld? What's his name? Anshul Jubli, is that his name? Both of these. Anshul Jubli and Puja Tomar. Both of these people are the people that UFC India is trying to promote. They're trying to force, like, dude, everywhere in India you see fucking ads for both these people. Jubli goes out twice, basically has a perfect fight against Mike Breeden and then gets knocked out in the third round because Mike starts barking at him. Quillian Salko drops him in the first round with a right cross. Pooja Tomar, in my opinion, lost her fight against Rayani Amanda. She does not have a win inside the UFC yet. And Shawana Banin is not the girl she's going to fucking take a win of. Shawana is terrible, but Rayani is way worse. And if Rayani's taking the fight off of Pooja, by the way, go watch that fight back. Pooja lost that fight. If she's losing that fight, Banin's going to beat the shit out of her. And I love Shawana Banin as a favorite here. I think Pooja Tomar and UFC India need to find some better talent because these guys are not it. They're fucking trash, and Pooja sucks. I hope she loses and gets kicked out of the UFC because she's terrible. She's absolutely terrible. It's the most boring shit to watch them fight. I want to see her get knocked out and chinned, and I want to see Anshul Jubli come back in like a couple months and get chinned again. Next on the prelims, we have dude, first off, it's just they're terrible. I don't know how the fuck you allow. I understand you need like you need someone from India because you're trying to get to that market. It's 1 billion people. Bro, get a better fucking fighter. They're terrible. They're both awful. Anshul Jubli, bro, went out first round. Like, I don't even understand that. Pooja sucks. She looks like ass. She's not fun at all. She's not fun at all. How many KOs does she have? Oh, they're almost all KOs. Who's she fighting? Oh, my... Oh, this is who she's fighting. The girl who got like a cardboard belt. What the fuck is that? What is she fighting? A fucking dude? Oh my god. All right, I'm done. I'm not looking at this anymore. We're gonna move on. Andreev. What? Andrei Puliev. Andrei Puliev versus Christian Leroy Duncan. We're going to go with Christian Leroy Duncan. CLD is probably going to knock this dude out. This is just one of those guys that's coming over from Russia. They gave him a short notice fight. They said, hey, man, you want to make 10K? And he's like, yes, please. I have no money left. There's nothing left in Russia. I want to fight now. Yes, very good. You send wolf milk and goats to my house, yes? Yes, we'll send wolf milk and... Okay, sounds good. I fight Christian Leroy Duncan, who's an absolute fucking monster and who's going to starch me. That's what he said. He said, I want to get starched. I want to get knocked out. Well, fucking here you go. Here's your gift. Puliev is going to get knocked out. I mean, he's big for the weight class, but Christian's just going to maul him. He's just going to walk forward. He's probably not going to stop. He has a chance. Puliev might be able to pull off a decision, but it's looking like Christian Leroy Duncan's just going to walk over that dude. For a prelim, that's pretty fucking nasty, honestly. Christian's a really good fighter. I really enjoy watching him fight. He does kind of have just shitty wins on his record. He's only beaten really, really trash fighters. Armin Petrosian, looking back at it, that's a bad loss, you know. Just another one of those Cage Warrior guys. Huge power. Really, really good kicks. He uses his size very well, and I think he's going to utilize it here, even though he's the smaller fighter against Puliev. It just seems as though his boxing is more crisp. Andre? I don't know why I'm saying Andreev and all this shit. Andre, he looks okay. He just looks a little bit slower. And if Christian clips him, you're going night-night. I mean, if Christian gets clipped too, he's probably getting put down. I don't think he's going night-night, though. I think Andre's going to have a bit of a problem, though. Christian Leroy Duncan just kind of puts pressure on guys too much, and they kind of crumble. They eventually crumble just because it's just like you're getting hit nonstop. He doesn't stop. He doesn't really give a fuck about how he's feeling. He just keeps going forward. I like that from Duncan, and I think he gets it done at 185 on the prelims. And we're going to go next on the prelims, Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. It's looking like I'm picking Mick Parkin this week. I've gone against Parkin a couple times here. Lucas Bresky, that I thought was going to be one of his toughest fights because Lucas actually has really good hands. He's really quick for a heavyweight, and I thought Mick was going to have his boxing tested. I thought that was going to be the fight where we were going to see if he was a full, complete fighter. We were going to be able to see if the grappling approach wasn't going to work for him every single time. And guess what? Yeah, he beat the fuck out of Lucas. He knocked him out inside the first round. And I think against here, Marcin Tybura, he's one of those guys that tries to force takedowns on big brawlers and just tries to maul them. He's also a guy that tries to take down dudes that can't really get back up because they're just too big. And in this situation, Mick Parkin has good grappling. He has, I think, good enough takedown defense to where he's not getting put down on his ass. And I think he's faster in the striking, you know? Like, Tybura's fucking 40 years old. Mick Parkin's 29. Like, he's going to be faster. He's going to be moving probably better, and Marcin Tybura is probably going to keep his head on the center line and leave himself vulnerable to Parkin just piecing him up. I like Mick Parkin here. I think he's probably going to nullify all the grappling, and I think we're just going to have a stand-up war here. I think Marcin Tybura is going to try and force the pressure too much inside the second and third round, get clipped up. I think Mick Parkin is just going to piece him up. I think the jab is just too good. He's too fast with that jab. That 1-2 down the pocket's nasty. His left hook's good. The kicks are nasty. Mick Parkin's a really good kickboxer, man. Marcin Tybura is going to have a problem. That leg's going to get chewed up, and then we're going to have the second and third round where we're not moving too much, but Mick Parkin's still throwing. What do you do now? I guess we're going to see. Mick Parkin via knockout or decision. We're going to know next on the prelims, Loner Kavanagh versus Felipe Dos Santos. This isn't even a question. Loner Kavanagh by whatever he wants. He's just a nasty fucking flyweight, man. He's got some nasty power. He fought Antoine Ho. I thought Antoine Ho was going to win that fight. I thought Antoine Ho had the better power. Nope, dips the strike and fucking left hooks the shit out of him. Drops him in Contender Series. Fights against Jose Ochoa, who's never been knocked out in his career, never lost inside of his career, and guess what? Beats his ass too. It's a good win for Loner Kavanagh. Felipe Dos Santos is probably the most complete fighter he's ever fought in his life. This will be his hardest testament. Plus 310 is a little bit wild for Felipe. I wouldn't mind a plus 3.5 spread on him. He's also one of those guys that went to a decision with Manel Kape. Very, very, very durable. Has a lot of power. Is able to slip some good shots, and he's a well-rounded fighter. I just Loner Kavanagh, one of those like big up and coming like prospects. Speaks English. Moved from China into England and fights out of England. Really good camp. Part of Great Britain team. Just nasty, man. But again, Felipe Dos Santos has that shoot the box style. We're gonna see, man. Loner might get pieced up. He might get knocked out. But I really believe in Loner's just ability to push the pressure. I think Felipe is going to kind of crumble. I think it's going to be too much. And I think Loner, especially as a smaller guy, going to have to be getting in and getting dirty. I think he's going to get done against a Felipe Dos Santos that hasn't really had a good win in the UFC yet, except for Victor Altamirano. But again, a split decision on a fight where arguably could have went to Victor. You kind of have to do a little bit more than that inside the UFC if you want to stay. And this is probably it for him. If he doesn't win this fight, Loner's going to get through, and Felipe is just kind of stuck in a little bit of a limbo land. We're going to go on top of the prelims. Jai Herbert, the black country banger. I'm glad he's back, but now we have Chris Padilla. I've been picking Chris Padilla his last couple fights, and this is no different. I'm taking Chris Padilla. He is the younger fighter. He does have the good grappling that Jai Herbert does not have. Jai Herbert's a very good kickboxer, very, very strong, very good high kick, very good left high kick. The leg is just really, really fast. The question mark kick's really good, but Chris Padilla is going to be utilizing that grappling, probably utilizing the ground and pound, and Jai Herbert's probably going to go out. Chris is just too good, man. He was like, Chris is watching shit from one. He's watching that shit that Jonathan Haggerty's doing. He's doing like these upside down elbows and shit. He's doing these spinning elbows. He was able to crack Rongju and get a mouse in his eye, basically, just from watching some fights. Like, he's got the fucking IQ, man. Chris has got the IQ. He's on a hot streak. He's 29 years of age. Just got into the UFC finally. And he's making a statement for himself. 2 finishes in a row, both submission, or 1 submission, 1 finish. And I think if he really wants to get the trifecta here, a decision, this isn't even the fight to do it. I think it's a submission here. I think Jai Herbert doesn't have the grappling ability to even be close with him. Not even close. And Chris on the feet, not bad, but he does lose against Jai Herbert. Jai Herbert's just like literally a kickboxing legend. Like, he's just too fucking good. He's too strong in the lower half for Chris to stand up with him. I think we go to the ground. I think we see another Chris Padilla finish. I think he gets it done under 2.5 rounds. I think Chris is just going to need to put the pressure on him early. I think his keys to victory is stay away from that kick, stay away from those leg kicks, and try and force him up against the cage, where Jai Herbert doesn't really have a lot of room to move. You got to cut him off. You got to try and grab that leg, try and force him up against the cage, maybe get a double leg, maybe try and get a trip. And just stay away from the power, and Chris is going to be able to get it done. And we're going to move on to the start of the main card. If you guys did enjoy this so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. We have Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. We're going Nathaniel Wood. Morgan doesn't have any grappling. He just doesn't. He's a kickboxer. And he's going to be looking for the kickboxing the whole fight. He's not really going to be able to force takedown defense when Nathaniel Wood is mixing it up. Nathaniel Wood's really, really good at mixing it up. He's literally good everywhere. He was able to defeat John Castaneda. John Castaneda is one of those guys that is perfect everywhere. He can move it everywhere. He really can. He can move it everywhere. Charles Jourdain, Andre Fili, Daniel Pineda. He has huge wins on his record. Unfortunately, he does have a loss against Muhammad Naimov. Naimov was just able to outpoint him in the striking, which gives me a little bit of worry here against Morgan Chahier, but Chahier is just terrible with the grappling. He doesn't really have good takedown defense. If we really look at it here, let's go to Morgan Chahier, UFC stats. You'll see here that his takedown defense is not very good, sitting at 83%. That's also because he's only fought, what, like... Now that I think about it, Shepe might have shot a lot of takedowns on this dude. He shot 8 takedowns on Morgan. Hold on a second here. Yeah, but Shepe was landing a lot in that fight. I kind of forget about that. And later on in this fight, Morgan Chahier was kind of falling apart. He was kind of gassing out. He wasn't throwing as much anymore. Yeah, we're going to go with Nathaniel Wood. You just got to see Morgan... like, if you can kickbox for 3 rounds, yeah, of course you're going to have some gas. If you're fucking grappling, you're doing all of it. If Morgan loses one of the first 2 rounds, he's going to lose the fight. That 3rd round's going to Nathaniel Wood no matter what. Morgan needs to win one of the first 2 rounds. I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's going to win that first round. I think Nathaniel Wood gets it done. And I think he gets another win inside the UFC, and we finally start seeing him make a run at the 145 title. I want to see him inside the top 15, man. He's been inside the UFC way too long. Let's go. Let's make a move, Nathaniel. I want to see you get a big win. And this is a pretty fucking decent win, to be honest. Morgan Chahier, France's biggest fucking star, basically. Let's get a move on. Let's see what he can do. We're going to move on next in the main card. Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. Technically, we have to pick Jordan Vucenic. I don't want to. I want to pick Chris Duncan. I think he's going to knock him out. I think Vucenic is just one of those guys that gets a little bit too cocky. Even against Guram Kutateladze, he thought he won the fight. He was putting his arms up. You fucking lost the 2nd and 3rd round. You let it get away from you. Like, you didn't even try in the later stages of the fight thinking you won the fight. Never think you win the fight. Keep working. Always work to improve. You have to work to improve. That's just how you win. You have to. And Jordan Vucenic, honestly, didn't do that. And he hasn't really done that in his Cage Warriors fights either, because he kind of gets finishes and he just hopes for the best. Here, it's looking like what's going to happen. Looking like he's going to submit Chris Duncan. Looking like he's going to get him down to the ground early and just submit him really easily. Manuel Torres was able to do the same thing. It's just, there's levels. And Chris Duncan's one of those guys that he's decent in the stand-up. He can knock your ass out. But he also can get knocked out. And he, unfortunately, can also get submitted. He's just one of those guys that is a little bit too vulnerable when we start getting into the deeper skill gaps. When it comes to guys that, been boxing since they were kids or grappling since they were kids. Jordan Vucenic is one of those guys who's been grappling since he was a fucking teenager. Like, he's going to grab Chris. He's going to rip Chris to the ground. And Chris doesn't really have a whole lot he can do. He's not bigger. He doesn't have any reach. He doesn't have the kicks that are better than Jordan. It's not like he has the power that's better than Jordan. Jordan dropped Guram with a right hand that was, like, short. Like, he barely moved. He moved it, like, maybe fucking 3 feet and dropped him clean. I like Jordan Vucenic here. I think he's going to submit Chris Duncan. I think it's going to be done inside the 1st round. And I think Jordan finally gets a win inside the UFC, and he can finally, call himself a UFC fighter, start making a run at the lightweight title. Dude, lightweight is filled with people that don't know how to grapple. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can start making a move towards. Because honestly, lightweight 15 years ago, filled with grapplers. Filled with people that can mix it up. RDA, fucking Dustin, Justin... Like, all these guys that are decent at the grappling. Now you have Jordan making a run at it at 20, 29. Fuck, man. That might be fun to watch. Anyway, Chris Duncan's going out cold. Slip. We're going on Molly Meatball McCann versus Alexia Thanera. We're going Alexia Thanera. Dude, like, I just can't pick. I can't pick Molly in fucking good faith. I just can't. Diana Belbita is a good win. Hannah Goldie's a terrible win. Luana Carolina is a terrible win. Ji Young Kim's a terrible win. Like, it's just like... I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about this because I want to pick Molly. We've watched her knock out girls before. We've seen her get these crazy fucking wins. She has no reach. She's short. She's ass. She's fucking terrible. And Alexia is #1 in Brazil right now. She's on a fucking heater in Jungle Fight. Or not jungle fight. You just do a Brazilian fucking league. Like, contender series win against Rose Conceição. Conceição! Oh, that's the girl that got head kicked by fucking Lanny Silva? Shit, I do remember that. I did watch that, actually. I watched that fight. That was a crazy-ass fight. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Alexia Thanera. She's just gonna fucking out-grapple Molly. Realistically, she's gonna out-grapple her. She's gonna force Molly on her back. Like, Alexia's just gonna land ground and pound. There's not gonna be much happening. This fight sucks. I'm moving on. I don't give a shit. Alexi's going to win. Whatever. Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson. Now, this is a fucking fight. We're moving down to 170 for Kevin Holland. He's fighting Gunnar Nelson, who's a decent submission artist. Kevin Holland did get submitted last time around by Renier de Ritter. Kind of let it happen. Like, realistically, he kind of let it happen. He let himself go to the ground there. He could have gotten up at one point, just allowed himself to stay on the ground, thought he was going to be able to out-grapple him. Yeah, you're kind of a bitch. Gunnar Nelson here, going out. He's probably going out. I don't think he's going to be able to... Listen, if Santiago Ponzinibbio is able to clip Gunnar Nelson, Kevin Holland's going to clip Gunnar Nelson. Kevin Holland knocked out Santiago. He's going to knock out Gunnar. He's probably going to step back and step into a big right hand drop. Listen, he's got 10 inches on Gunnar. If Gunnar is able to get up to him and grab him before he gets tagged, that's fucking impressive. Kevin Holland should win this fight, and it should be easy. As an underdog here, it's kind of pathetic. Kevin Holland should not be an underdog. He should be a fucking favorite here. Gunnar Nelson should be a massive underdog. I don't like Gunnar here at all. I like Kevin Holland. As long as Kevin Holland's still in the fight game and he's not here for a paycheck, he's going to win. He's going to knock out Gunnar early. And Gunnar's going to be... Because what's going to happen is Gunnar's going to try and force a fucking takedown. And if he tries to force a takedown, you're stuck in a bad spot with Kevin Holland, bro. Because Kevin Holland's just going to be dropping elbows and hammer fists. He can knock you out from the bottom, man. We also had that Jacare Souza fight from fucking 2020. Knocked him out from the bottom. From the bottom with a right hand. Bro, who does that? Kevin Holland has real scary power. Real scary power. And Gunnar's going to taste it on Saturday night. We're going to move on to co-main event of the evening. Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg, the Black Jag. We're going Carlos Ulberg. I was going to pick Jan Blachowicz, but again, 42 years of age. Recently a split decision over Ankalaev fight that I thought was a draw. And then the Alex Pereira fight, which I thought Yan won. The thing becomes, I want to pick Yan. Listen, I want to pick Yan. Yan is literally the guy I want to pick here. I want to watch Blachowicz win. I want to. If he uses his calf kicks and just eats his fucking Ulberg's leg up, he will win the fight. He will stop the movement of Carlos Ulberg. He'll probably be able to clip him with a good right or left hand, and he'll probably put him on Quistry for the rest of the fight and force Carlos Ulberg to fight more tactically than he's been fighting his previous fights. Now, you have Carlos Ulberg, who's just a fucking mauler. Dude literally doesn't stop coming forward, lefts and rights. Hurt Volkan bad, dropped Alonzo early. Dawoon Jung got rid of him. Ihar Potier first round. Nikolai Nigamaruno. Oh my god. Nugamaranu. Jesus Christ, what are these fucking names? Dude, dropped him in the first round. Just, listen, he's got real scary power. Jan hasn't really been knocked out like super well in a long time. Like, he hasn't been that badly dropped or something. This might be the fight where he gets knocked out. It really might be it. Carlos is just that fucking good, but it's also the fight where Carlos might get dropped because the leg kicks from Jan, they're shin to shin, man. The dude's made of fucking metal. He's made of stone. He's really made of stone. He goes shin to shin with you and he doesn't give a fuck because he knows it hurts you way more than it hurts him, and he doesn't care. He knows your leg's going to give up before his ever will. That's why it's scary to not pick Jan. And that's why I'm kind of hovering on Jan Blachowicz. But we're going to be picking Carlos Ulberg. Usually when I pick Flip, we lose. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'm also 1-9 for fucking main event picks. And we're about to lead into my main event pick. Keep that in mind too. Guess what, guys? Main event of the evening. If you guys did enjoy this so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. We're going Sean Brady. Leon Edwards showed inside the Bilal Muhammad fight that if we go 5 rounds and we go against a guy that actually is good, can actually mix it up, isn't afraid to take it to the ground if he has to, isn't afraid to throw a couple strikes up top to mix it up and to make him think, you kind of win every single round. Because Leon can't do shit. Leon falls apart against guys that do too much, against guys that are good wrestlers. He doesn't do well against guys that have submission threat because he's a little bit too worried about it. He's good in the kickboxing, and that's about it. That's the only thing really that Leon Edwards has going for him. He's not much better than Sean Brady in the stand up, if we're being really honest. The grappling is kind of where we're sitting at. Sean Brady is just years ahead of Leon in the grappling, and realistically, Sean Brady might be able to submit Leon Edwards this weekend. Leon Edwards has a good shot to piece up Sean Brady, maybe win a couple rounds, and force Sean Brady to maybe get a submission inside the 4th or 5th round to just secure a victory. Leon's pretty tall, 6'2", 74 inches of reach, still standing taller than Sean, still longer than Sean. But I think Sean Brady has more of an advantage when it comes to the close brawl. I think we're going to be forced up against the cage for most of this fight. I think Sean Brady saw exactly how Bilal Muhammad won his fight, and I think he's going to be trying to do the exact same thing. I think he's going to be able to force the pressure against Leon Edwards. I think he's going to be able to get Edwards thinking about every single thing that he's going to be doing. I think Sean Brady's going to be able to just kind of work Leon Edwards down in the clinch against the cage, take him to the ground, and just force him for 25 minutes to just think about his life and think about what he fucking did and knocking out Kamaru Usman. I still can't believe watching that live. That live was the most insane thing I've ever seen. I don't know, man. Give me Sean Brady. I can't watch Leon Edwards. It's just not good. I like Sean Brady just too much here. Leon Edwards, too. His best win is Kamaru. Other than Kamaru Usman, like, he doesn't have a win. Gunnar Nelson, an old RDA. Like, what is it? What are his wins here? This is terrible. Give me fucking Leon Edwards. This is going to be a fraud check. Mark my words, this is going to be a fraud check. You're going to see Leon Edwards have an absolute problem with Sean Brady. You're going to see him get absolutely torched. I call Sean Brady by submission. Give me the submission. Kimura or guillotine. Goodbye, Leon Edwards. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you have not already. Let me know who you guys got for this weekend down in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the betting talk. And I'll see you guys on Saturday for the live stream. Again, hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you guys all later. Peace.